Hello and welcome to the Green Dragon channel. I have been thinking a bit and have not planned anything that I'm about to say. I thought that it would be a nice idea to talk a little bit about me, and it could very easily lead to a very serious conversation about things that should be talked about. That wasn't cryptic at all. Hi, my name is Lucy Greenfield. I currently live in Chico, California, where I was born and raised. I live with my parents. I have gone to only charter schools and only did 1 year of college in Ashland, Oregon. I am a huge nerd. I am very creative. I love to draw, and paint, and sew, and make jewelry, and sing, and a bunch of other stuff. I am a dungeon master and play Dungeons & Dragons a lot. I also have bipolar 2. That's for lay people, that is bipolar disorder, but there are actually 2 categories of bipolar disorder. Bipolar 1 is usually the one that people think of when they think of bipolar disorder, super high mania, super low depression, really extreme stuff. Bipolar 2 is a little harder to identify and diagnose because it can manifest itself in a lot more subtle ways. But yeah, that's kind of who I am and how I identify myself right now. Nerdy, creative, mentally ill. That did not sound nearly as extreme in my head as it ended up coming out. Which is maybe why it's a good idea for me to sit and talk in front of a camera as opposed to real people, because then my real side comes out? I don't know. I've been thinking a lot lately about the issues surrounding mental illness, the stigmas, and even such things as suicidal ideation and all the things that go along with that, especially since the controversial show 13 Reasons Why came out. And I mean, as you've clearly heard and seen, I think about these things a lot. I don't know. I'm not a professional. I don't know how to speak about mental illness in a way that will appease everybody. There probably is no way for anyone to be able to do that. All I know is that it sucks. It really sucks. Even like the fun parts of being mentally ill, such as, the mania that can come with bipolar disorder or anything like that, tend to have long-lasting negative effects. And the hardest part is that people don't get it, It's not that the people around me in my life, I'm very lucky and have a huge support system that are full of people who understand that it's as necessary to treat a mental illness as it is a physical one, and that it's not something that you can just, snap your fingers and it'll go away. I'm very lucky in that regard. But there's still a lot of areas where it's hard to communicate effectively. I really use my support system a lot, and I have 1 or 2 people that sometimes come to appointments with me with my various mental health professionals and practitioners, because I'm not able to communicate as effectively as I need to in my appointments, and sometimes I just need an extra person outside of me, a third party that can see what's going on. But one thing that really frustrates me is when people go, oh yeah, I get it, you know, I had a friend who was depressed for a while, or oh yeah, I had a really hard time, you know, after I broke up with my boyfriend, or something like that. And it's not that I want to minimize any, you know, temporary depression that people go through, because that can be extremely damaging. But when you have something other than depression or anxiety, which it seems, I could be completely wrong, but it seems like our society is getting a little bit better about understanding depression and anxiety, because the vast majority of people experience it. But because people are starting to recognize it more, there's still a little bit of a gap between, you know, depression, anxiety, and illnesses like, I don't know, schizophrenia, borderline personality disorder, bipolar disorder, things of that nature, you know, multiple personality disorder. Those kinds of things can be confusing. Sometimes you grow out of it, sometimes you don't. And when I say grow out of it, I'm not saying snap out of it. I'm saying sometimes our bodies change and our brain chemistry changes. I often wonder if I'm ever gonna be able to, you know, be off like psychotropic medication, or will ever be able to not have to see a therapist every week, or, you know, have to go to a psychiatrist all the time, or I don't know. I've just been thinking a lot about it lately, and I see a lot of videos everywhere about mental illness and the issues surrounding it, and I don't know, it seems like a conversation that I should start participating in, just because I have a lot of experience with suicidal ideation and self-harm as well. It's so hard. I mean, one could argue that every problem that anyone experiences is inaccurately represented by media, by other people who don't understand, or anything like that. And I don't know, this is a rambly video. I just wanted to take a break from, you know, reading fairy tales and singing and being silly, to just be real for a second. I don't even care if anyone watches this video. I doubt many people will. But it feels good for me to be able to just sit here and talk. I've always been good at talking to myself, so adding a camera doesn't feel that weird. Yeah. So that's who I am. Who are you? I did not mean for that to be as confrontational as it was. Anyway. So the dragon that I was going to show you in my last video but didn't get to, I can introduce him now. This is Bentley. Let me show. He's a baby dragon coming out of his egg. He's actually doesn't look it, but is one of the oldest dragons in the bunch. He's kind of like Horatio in that he's very smart and intelligent. He's not nearly as ambitious as Horatio is, though, or cunning. He's a lot more generous and kind with his intelligence. He's also very sparkly. And I love him, and he's so kissable. I love all my dragons, but he's nice to hold too. He's got a good weight to him. I believe after this we only have one more dragon that you guys haven't met, but I'm sure you will soon. I should probably end this video here, as I've probably rambled and talked about one subject for too long, so I will sign off here, and I will be posting another video pretty soon. Alright? To anyone who's suffering with mental illness or suicidal ideation, it's okay to get help. It might feel like it's weakness and that you're not good enough because you can't deal with it yourself, and you should be able to deal with it yourself. But that's not true. It's brave to go get help. It's brave to admit these things to someone who can do something about it. Alright, talk to you later. Bye! So here's an example of what it might feel like to have a manic episode. I just watched the first episode of the 4th season of Sherlock, which I'm sure a lot of people have done that already, but I prefer to be lazy and wait for it to come out on Netflix. No spoilers, but I am very angry at a certain character. Probably not the one that you're thinking. And I am upset, and I had my fist clenched like this almost the whole time. And I went and put some shoes on. I grabbed a broom and a dustpan. I grabbed one of the least used glasses from the cabinet, and I went outside with my shoes, my broom, my dustpan, and my glass, and I threw the glass on the ground as hard as I could. Surprisingly, it didn't smash, it actually bounced, because I think I hit it like on the bottom corner, and the bottom of the glass was pretty thick, so I hit it on the bottom and it bounced and like flew in the air and ended up like in a hole in the dirt like 15-20 feet away. After that, my dad came out and talked me down. And I guess this right here is my coping mechanism for now, because instead of self-harming or scream crying myself to sleep, I am filming. I'm talking in an eerily calm voice, and I'm doing a little better. So that's just an example that I thought I'd share for those of you who might want to know what it might be like to have an emotional episode for someone with a mental illness. So yeah, I think I'm going to go have a small glass of wine and then get ready for bed and go to sleep. Good night.